Well, the next step really is to get to know your people. We've been talking about building a team, delegating work to them in the right manner. It's important that you know who are those people working with you. And this is a great exercise, at least with a team size of up to 100 people. It's a brilliant idea for you to actually make a note of all their names and qualities of the people. And sometimes there are leaders who've told me, I know a lot of them, but I can't remember all of them. It becomes a memory test. So there's no need to try to learn things by heart. Slowly and steadily, you're going to sort of understand your team and get to know who they are. Here are some suggestions that I've made to people I've worked with and in training programs that I've done and coaching sessions that I've done. Starting with making a list of the team members that you have. Also, if you want to write down some basic details, like, if you know their age, if you want to write down a description, because sometimes it's difficult to remember people, all of them by face. If you want to write a description saying that, this is the sporty guy who always wears the baseball jacket, this is the guy who's always dressed in formals, this is the guy with long hair, and so on. If there's a way for you to remember it, go ahead and write that down. But more importantly, I want you to write down qualities of people. And this is particularly true with your immediate team. So even if you have 1,000 people below you, you would be working with about 10 or 20 people who in turn manage others who manage eventually this whole group of 1,000. So it's important that you understand these people who you work with directly. And what do I mean by understand them? Understand some of their qualities. Because in the end, you are in the people business. You are working with individuals. Individual qualities, temperaments, behavior styles, and personalities matter. It's not a group phenomenon. So I would do this. For example, if I realize that there is a lady in my team, and in a meeting, if I ask her for her opinion, she keeps quiet. She just says one or two things. But if I keep pushing her hard, then she sort of goes into a shell and she shuts down. I need to know this. I need to write this down. I need to understand this quality of this person. For example, if there's another person in my team, and one of the qualities of this person is that they keep asking a lot of questions. And the person's just very questioning and inquisitive and has a lot of things to ask about anything that you say. So even if you're starting a meeting saying, I want to talk about plan for the next 6 months, this person might say, why next 6 months? Why not next 1 year? And if you say, this is the reason, then the person would say, okay, but is this a company-wide decision or is this decided by our team? They would just always have questions. Now I need to know this. I'm going to come to what to do with this information later, but I need to just know this. I need to know qualities of people who I work with. And I would keep adding to qualities. So if this is just one of the qualities, I might notice that this person who asks a lot of questions is also somebody who's not punctual. And in 80% of the meetings, tends to walk in late. So I would write this down. In 80% of the meetings, tends to walk in late and not apologize for being late. I would write this down. In 80% of the meetings, would walk in late, tends to not apologize to anybody, and then would keep quiet every time the person is late, but would ask a lot of questions whenever the person is early. So I would note down all this information, and this is a good way of me understanding qualities of my team members, because you got to know your team well. If you don't know your team, you don't know who you're working with. We're talking about building and leading great teams. To be a great team leader, you've got to have a great understanding of your team. And here's what I would do later. I would look at the qualities that I've made a note of and use this in two ways. One is I would use it to be a better leader to them. So one of the immediate options is to give people the kind of work that they would enjoy. And this immediately makes them enjoy work, makes work more effective, makes people finish their work easily and come back to you with solutions, find more meaning in what they do, and so on. This is one immediate solution for it. The other thing which I would do with this information is I would match it with the metric I have for greatness and qualities of great team members. Of course, the assumption is that you probably hired people based on those qualities and based on what are the positive qualities of somebody you would want in a great team. Despite that, if you see that one of the qualities that you have or you hired somebody for is good interpersonal skills, but now after 3 months of being in your team, the person's not getting along, you would want to correct those behaviors. So as a leader, first, understand the qualities of your team members and assign work to people based upon their own qualities. Secondly, I would match qualities of team members with the qualities that I have for a great team and appreciate or encourage positive behaviors which match the 5 elements of greatness and the 5 top qualities of a good team. And I would try to put an end to or provide constructive feedback on areas where there's a mismatch. So if one of my qualities of a good team member is positivity, looking at what's going well in teams rather than complaining. Every time I see team members complaining, I would probably make a note of it and say, well, it's easy to complain. Is there something that we could do about it? Could you tell me 3 things that we could do right now to fix this problem so that it shifts their mindset from a problem-focused to a solution-focused mindset? So try this out. If you are already working with the team, open an Excel sheet, have all names of team members, write down all qualities, and keep adding to this and use this information like I just described.